Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and seeing a floating screen above your bed. Not a notification, not a text message. A character menu. Strength, level 4. Confidence, level 7. Discipline, level 2. Social skills, level 5. Focus, level 1. Suddenly, every weakness you've been ignoring has a number attached to it. No excuses, no pretending, no hiding, just like stats. And honestly, that would be amazing. Because for the first time in your life, you'd know exactly what to work on. Want better grades? Upgrade intelligence? Want more confidence? Grind communication. Want a stronger body? Put points into strength. Life would finally make sense. Or would it? Because here's something strange. If real life actually had a visible skill tree, most people would still be stuck at level 1. Think about it. Gamers spend hundreds of hours repeating the same mission, fighting the same boss, grinding the same dungeon, doing things most people would call boring, and they love it. But ask someone to study for 30 minutes, read 10 pages, go for a run. Suddenly, it's torture. Why? What's the difference? Why does grinding feel fun in games, but painful in real life? The answer isn't motivation, it's visibility. Games constantly show you progress. Every action creates a reaction. You gain XP, unlock abilities, watch numbers rise, get achievements, level up. Your brain never has to wonder whether it's improving. The game shows you. Real life doesn't. You go to the gym for a week. Nothing. You study for a week. Nothing. You practice a skill. Nothing. At least that's what it feels like. Because unlike games, life hides the progress bar. And that's where most people quit. Not because they're failing, because they can't see themselves winning. Imagine if every workout added a glowing XP bar above your head. Imagine if every difficult conversation increased your confidence stat by 1 point. Imagine if every book instantly unlocked visible intelligence points. People would become addicted to self-improvement overnight. But life doesn't work that way. The XP is invisible, which makes something incredibly important happen. Faith becomes part of the game. You have to believe the points are being added before you can see the result. And that's difficult. Because humans love immediate rewards. That's why games are so powerful. They take invisible growth and make it visible. But here's where things get even more interesting. If life really had a skill tree, most people would build it completely wrong. Everyone says they'd max out money, status, success, influence. But every experienced gamer knows something. The strongest builds aren't always the flashiest ones. Sometimes the boring skills secretly carry the entire character. Think about any RPG you've ever played. You can't rush straight to legendary abilities. You need the fundamentals first. The same thing happens in life. People want level 100 success. Without upgrading focus, they want confidence. Without practicing communication, they want wealth. Without learning discipline, they're trying to unlock advanced abilities while ignoring the starting zone. And then they wonder why nothing works. In reality, life has prerequisites. Everything builds on something else. Your health affects your energy affects your focus affects your learning affects your opportunities. One skill unlocks another, which unlocks another, which unlocks another. Just like a game. And then there's something even stranger. Life has hidden combo bonuses. Games call them synergies. Imagine leveling up running. At first it just seems like fitness, but then your energy improves, your sleep improves, your mood improves, your productivity improves. Suddenly, one skill point upgraded 4 different stats. The same thing happens with reading, communication, time management, confidence. Certain skills quietly boost everything around them, which means choosing the right branch can completely change your character build. But here's the biggest difference between games and life. In games, failure usually feels temporary. You die, respawn, try again. No big deal. In real life, failure feels personal, embarrassing, permanent. But that's an illusion. Because if life really is a skill tree, then failure is just XP. Think about it. Every mistake teaches something. Every rejection reveals something. Every setback exposes a weakness you didn't know existed. Games understand this. That's why losing still moves you forward. The best players don't fear failure. They farm it. They use it. They extract information from it. Real life works exactly the same way. The only difference is that life doesn't play a victory sound afterward. And that's why so many people miss the lesson. Now, let's return to the original question. What if real life had a skill tree? Maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the real question is, what if it already does? Every workout, XP. Every page you read, XP. Every difficult conversation, XP. Every time you keep going when you don't feel like it, XP. Every failure, XP. Every lesson, XP. The tree is already there. The levels are already there. The progression is already there. What's missing isn't the system, it's the interface. Games show you numbers. Life shows you results. Slowly, quietly. Sometimes months later, sometimes years later. Which means somewhere in the future, there is a version of you that already exists. A version with more confidence, more discipline, more knowledge, more resilience. A higher level version of your character. The question isn't whether that version can exist. The question is whether you'll keep earning XP long enough to meet them. Because every day, whether you realize it or not, you're already playing the game. And today's actions are deciding tomorrow's stats.